It's a puzzle, isn't it? You see people all the time who are incredibly clever. They can tell you about quantum physics, they can quote Shakespeare, they might even have a degree or two hanging on their wall. Yet when it comes to their bank account, the numbers just don't add up. They live month to month, always feeling like they're one unexpected bill away from disaster. It makes you wonder, if being smart is the key, why aren't all the smart people rich? It's a question that gets right to the heart of how we think about money and success. I've met so many people on my travels who are full of brilliant ideas. They've read all the books. They've listened to all the podcasts about investing and saving. They can explain compound interest better than a maths teacher, but their own finances are in a tangle. It's like having a detailed map of a city but never leaving your house to explore it. The map is useless if you don't take that first step out the door. This gap between what we know and what we actually do is a huge barrier, and it keeps a lot of good, intelligent people stuck in a cycle of financial worry. The truth is, libraries are filled with people who know how to get rich, but they're not all driving fancy cars. The internet is overflowing with financial advice, free for anyone to access. You can learn about stocks, real estate, or starting a business with just a few clicks. But information by itself doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't build a savings account. It's an ingredient, like flour in a pantry. You can have all the flour in the world, but until you get your hands dirty, mix it with water, and put it in the oven, you'll never have a loaf of bread. Knowledge is just potential power. So the real mystery isn't about a lack of information. We're swimming in it. The real challenge is something deeper. It's about our habits, our fears, and our willingness to act on the very things we claim to understand. It's about closing that strange, frustrating gap between the person who knows what to do and the person who actually does it. We often think the secret to wealth is some hidden formula, but maybe the secret is much simpler and has been hiding in plain sight for centuries, waiting for us to not just read it, but to live it. So where do we look for answers? We often chase the newest trends, the latest financial gurus on social media. But what if the most powerful advice isn't new at all? What if it's been passed down for generations, tucked away in old sayings and proverbs? These little nuggets of wisdom have survived for a reason. They've been tested by time. They've guided people through famines, wars, and economic crashes. They might not talk about cryptocurrency or NFTs, but they talk about human nature, and that hasn't changed one bit. They are simple, direct, and incredibly practical. Think about it. A proverb is like a life hack from the ancient world. It's a short, memorable sentence that packs a powerful punch. These sayings were created by ordinary people trying to make sense of the world, to navigate its challenges, and to pass on what they learned to their children. A Japanese proverb might talk about the importance of small, steady steps. An African proverb might warn against the dangers of greed. A Bible verse might speak about the value of hard work. They all point to the same timeless truths about how to build a stable and prosperous life. These old words can feel more real and more trustworthy than a slick online course promising to make you a millionaire overnight. They don't have anything to sell you. Their only agenda is to share a fundamental truth. In our fast-paced world, we often dismiss this kind of wisdom as old-fashioned or too simple. But our modern money problems, debt, living beyond our means, fear of investing, are not new problems at all. They are human problems with a modern label. The answers, therefore, don't have to be complicated. They just have to be followed. The Bible, for instance, is full of practical financial advice. It's not just a book of faith, it's a guide to living. One verse that always stands out to me is Proverbs 21 verse 5. The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. This isn't about some divine magic, it's a straightforward observation about human behavior. If you plan carefully and work steadily, you're more likely to succeed. If you rush into things without thinking, you're likely to fail. It was true thousands of years ago, and it's just as true today as we scroll through our banking apps. Here's the core of the issue: the massive canyon between knowing what to do and actually doing it. It's a place where good intentions go to die. You know you should save 10% of your income. You've heard it a million times. You've even made a budget on a spreadsheet. But when the end of the month comes, the money is gone. You know you should pay off your credit card debt, but the temptation of a new pair of trainers or a night out is too strong. That's the battleground. It's not a battle of intelligence, it's a battle of will. This gap is fueled by emotion. Fear is a big one. The fear of losing money makes us afraid to invest, even when we know it's the best way to grow our wealth long term. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, makes us spend money we don't have on things we don't need, just to keep up with what we see on social media. We know it's a trap, but our emotions hijack our logic. We act on impulse, not on the knowledge we've so carefully gathered. We become our own worst financial enemy, sabotaging the very plans we made to help ourselves. Another factor is simple inertia. It's easier to do nothing than to do something. It takes effort to set up an automatic savings transfer. It takes discipline to track your spending every day. It's much easier to just keep doing what you've always done, even if you know it's not working. We tell ourselves we'll start tomorrow, or next month, or next year. But tomorrow is a promise that often never comes. Action requires energy, and sometimes after a long day at work, we just don't have it. So we stay stuck, knowing exactly what we need to do to get free. This is where the wisdom from Proverbs and Scripture becomes so powerful. They don't just give you information, they try to shape your character. They encourage diligence, patience, and self-control. They remind us that wealth isn't just about numbers, it's about behavior. A verse like Proverbs 13 verse 11 says, "Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow." This isn't just a financial tip, it's a lesson in patience and integrity. It tells us that the process, the doing, is what matters. Slow and steady, little by little, is how you close the gap and build something that lasts. Let's look at some of this ancient wisdom and see how it applies to our lives right now. Take the Chinese proverb. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. This speaks directly to the regret and procrastination so many of us feel about our finances. We think, if only I'd started saving in my 20s. We get stuck on the past. This proverb gives us a gentle push. It acknowledges the past but focuses us on the present. You can't change what you didn't do yesterday, but you can absolutely change what you do today. It's a powerful call to action for anyone feeling it's too late to start investing or saving for retirement. Here's another one, a Spanish proverb. The shrimp that falls asleep is carried away by the current. It's a vivid image, isn't it? It's a warning against being passive with your money. If you just let your finances drift along without paying attention, you'll be swept away by debt, inflation, and unexpected expenses. This proverb tells you to be alert. Check your bank statements, review your subscriptions, know where your money is going. Don't be the sleeping shrimp. This is about active financial management, not just letting life happen to your wallet. It's about taking control and steering your own course. Consider this African proverb, a single bracelet does not jingle. This is a beautiful way of talking about the power of multiple income streams. One source of income is quiet, vulnerable. If you lose your job, the silence is deafening. But if you have several streams of income, maybe a side hustle, some freelance work, or a small investment that pays dividends, you create a jingle. You have more security. It doesn't mean you have to work 80 hours a week. It could be as simple as renting out a spare room or selling crafts online. It's about building a financial safety net, one bracelet at a time. Finally, let's think about a simple English proverb. A penny saved is a penny earned. We hear this so often that we forget how profound it is. It puts saving on the same level as working. It reframes saving not as a sacrifice, but as a form of income. Every time you decide not to buy that expensive coffee or that takeaway you don't really need, you are actively earning money for your future self. It's not about depriving yourself of everything. It's about making conscious choices. This simple idea can transform your mindset from a spender to a saver, empowering you with every small decision you make. So, we have all this knowledge and all this ancient wisdom. How do we finally cross that bridge from knowing to doing? The answer is to start small. Forget about changing your entire financial life overnight. That's overwhelming. Let's take inspiration from the Proverbs and take one simple, concrete step today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. The goal is to build momentum, to prove to yourself that you can take action. One small win can create the confidence you need for the next one. First, inspired by the shrimp that falls asleep, wake up your finances. Your task for today is to log into your bank account and find one subscription or recurring payment you can cancel. Just one. Is it a streaming service you barely use? A gym membership you haven't touched in months? Find it and cancel it. This simple action could save you over £100 a year. It's not about the amount, it's about the act of taking control. You are no longer the sleeping shrimp. You are now awake and steering your ship. Second, let's apply a penny saved is a penny earned. Today, set up an automatic transfer. It can be for as little as £5 a week. The amount doesn't matter. The key is to make it automatic. Go into your banking app right now and set up a standing order to move a small amount from your main account to a savings account every payday. This is the modern way of gathering money little by little. It puts your savings on autopilot, ensuring that you are consistently paying your future self without having to rely on willpower alone. It's a 5-minute job that will benefit you for years. Finally, remember the message of the best time to plant a tree is now. Today is your now. Don't get lost in complicated investment strategies. Just plant one seed. Your action is to spend 15 minutes reading the About section of a simple low-cost index fund or your workplace pension scheme. Just read. You don't have to invest a penny yet. The goal is to replace the fear of the unknown with a little bit of knowledge and familiarity. You are planting the seed of your future financial security. These small steps taken today are how you begin to turn timeless wisdom into tangible wealth and build a life of financial peace, not just financial knowledge.